Hey, did I really hear the news right? Are you actually really going to get married? I just can't believe they would actually settle for marrying you. Don't you know that nobody likes you at all? You're a nobody. And just what is it about me that you always insist on criticizing, huh? All of you, you're all just horrible. You've been ugly ever since you were a little girl. And you just couldn't even go to college. You just started working right after high school. I mean, do you even have a single thing in your life that you can be proud of? I don't think so. Well, I'm so sorry that I can't be like my genius brother and that I decided to start my life after high school. But you do realize that I own my own bakery, right? And did you know that most small businesses close within their first 2 years? Well, I've kept my business open for 5. Doesn't that mean anything to you? You think that's an achievement or something? Everyone eats bread. Of course you're still open. And your overhead certainly can't be that much if all you need is flour, water, and some salt. You basically took the easiest route possible. It's amazing that you would even try to compare yourself to your brother when that's all that you could come up with. But then again, even when you both were little, it was clear who got the brains and looks between the two of you. And that's why your brother went to one of the top universities in the country and now works at one of the largest firms in the world. And you think that your little bread shop even compares to that? He might be working at some fancy company, but I still earn more than him. What are you talking about? Of course you don't earn any more than your brother. I mean, Francis is still in his 20s, and he's already making $1 million a year. Could your store even bring that much over in a decade? You've got to be kidding me. You really don't know anything. You know, ever since your father died, a part of me has always been scared about what's going to happen when I got old. But now that I know my son is going to be able to take care of me, it makes it all better. At least I can count on one of you. So that's it then? You're just really telling me all this so that I can understand that you like Francis more than me? I'm well aware of how you feel about him. Thank you very much. But I still say that you don't know what you're talking about. You're just jealous that you're never going to be as good as your brother. That's been obvious ever since you were a child. That's why I don't care, even if you are getting married. Because if someone is wanting to marry you, that tells me all I need to know about them. If that's how you feel, then why did you even agree to meet my fiancé in the first place? You could have saved me the effort of introducing him to you. Well, I'm glad I could meet him just so I could see how much of a fool he really is. Doesn't he know that you're a nobody? Although just from looking at him, I could tell that isn't much either. So at least you two go well together in that sense. I can't believe you, Mom. Make fun of me all you want, but leave my fiancé out of this. You don't know him at all. He's always so kind and constantly cheering on my business. Not to mention the fact that he always has a lot of good advice about how I should be running my company. So I was right then. He's nowhere near the level of Francis at all then. And since that's the case, there's no reason to care for him at all. I hope you aren't wanting me to be at your sad little wedding. I certainly won't be giving you any money for it either. Even though your dad left me quite a pretty penny, I'm going to make sure that there is none left for you.
Hey, dork. I heard the news from Mom. You seriously gonna be getting married?
And just what kind of way is that to talk to your older sister, huh, Francis?
Oh, please. You can't pull the age card on me anymore. We're way past that. But man, it must be so easy being a chick, huh? I mean, you've really just proved that no matter how stupid or ugly you are, you can still reel in some sap to marry you. So at least now when your stupid bakery does finally close, you can have him take care of you.
If you think that my marriage had anything to do with money, then you're dead wrong. And I certainly don't intend to live off of my husband.
So you intend to support the two of you with your crappy little shop, then? You really are more stupid than you look. And you look really, really stupid.
Is this the only reason you decided to text me right now, Francis?
No, I mean, I think that's great. You've done so much in spite of how stupid you are, you know? I just sure hope that your store doesn't crash and burn and leave you drowning in debt. Because just know that I'm not going to lift a finger to help you when it does. That's your husband's job now.
You and Mom are just the worst. Do you know that? Why do you two always have to put me down? I thought you two might at least be happy that I was getting married.
Just why would that be something worth celebrating, huh? You think you deserve anything nice in your life? What have you ever accomplished that you think is worth celebrating? If anything, I'm the one that people should be celebrating.
And just how do you figure that, huh?
Stupid girls like you get married to nobodies all the time. My life is far more interesting than yours will ever be.
I can't believe this. I actually can't believe that my own family is treating me this way. It's just absurd. I'm not asking for some huge wedding present or anything like that. I just wanted my family to be happy for me for once.
And just what about yourself would you think make anyone happy, huh? I have the college degree, I have the fancy job, and I have everything that you don't. Besides, I'm sure it's just a matter of time before your marriage blows up.
Oh, Lori, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot that today was your wedding day. And now I'm going to miss the whole thing, aren't I? I would love to go if I could, but I just have some really important things that I have to do. Sorry, what is this all about right now? Well, apparently Francis has met this girl that he likes. You see, they're actually already talking about getting married. And Francis told me that I just have to meet her, so that's where I'm going instead of your wedding. So anyways, Francis, his girlfriend, and I will be out for the day. You're kidding me, right? You're actually going to miss your own daughter's wedding just for this? Well, Francis told me that this was the only day that was going to work for him and that it had to be now. Apparently, this girl also works at a huge company just like your brother. So they both have very busy schedules. That was the only time we could make it work. You're ridiculous. I can't believe that you're doing this to me right now. You're really putting meeting your son's girlfriend over being at your own daughter's wedding? Well, are you really even that surprised? Do you really think that we would go to your wedding? I just didn't think that you two hated me so much. I thought that you would surely put a wedding before some lunch date, but all you ever do is find new ways of making me feel awful about myself. Oh, come now. Are you really trying to put this on your brother and I? I can't believe that you're being such a baby about this. I am not being a baby. I'm just coming to terms with the fact that I can't count on either of you. But it's been so obvious you've poured so much love and affection and money into Francis while I've got nothing. Why did I ever think that I could count on the two of you? Well, it's only because we knew that there would be no point in spending any money on a girl like you. We might as well have just burnt money to keep warm. But you don't actually know that since you never gave me the chances that you gave Francis. How dare you disagree with your mother? You think I don't remember what actually happened? What do you mean by that? I mean that I could see that while Francis was made for great things, you were not. This is just another job that parents have. They need to raise the best of their children up and make sure their less capable children know their place. You don't really mean that, do you? Of course I do, but apparently I didn't go far enough with you. You clearly think you're far better than you really are. even though it's obvious that you're nothing at all compared to Francis, and you'll never ever amount to even half of his greatness. You're just a stupid little girl who could barely manage to finish high school. Stop it. You don't know what you're talking about. I run my own business. Even an idiot can run a bread shop. It really isn't that hard. You really need to gain some perspective. Do you know that? I can't believe that you're really telling me all of this. Well, I won't have a chance to tell you at your wedding since we're not going to be there. So enjoy having a wedding with none of your family there. But my mom is going to be there. What on earth are you talking about now? I mean that I don't need you or Francis to be here at my wedding. Did you hit your head or something? I am your mother and I'm not going to be at your wedding. You? No, you're not my mom at all. In fact, I don't even know what I was thinking sending you an invitation. But what does that mean? How could you possibly have invited her? Well, obviously, I would only want people at my wedding who were there to actually help me celebrate. So I've invited someone who I've always thought of as a second mom. My homeroom teacher who pushed me all the way to graduating from high school. She was a better mother than you ever were. Are you talking about Mrs. Harris? You've got to be kidding me. That's right. I am talking about Mrs. Harris. While you were doting on Francis, she was helping encourage me to stick with my studies and not drop out. She even made sure that I had enough to eat throughout the day. In fact, she was the one who taught me how to bake bread at school one day. But I don't get it. Are you saying that I wasn't feeding you enough now? It was just that I noticed you were putting on weight, and I wanted to help you keep it off. Besides, it sounds like it's really thanks to me that you learned how to bake bread if you think about it. I am not giving you an inch of credit for anything, Mom. You never taught me anything of value that my teacher didn't teach me better. She's the one who made me think that I could really find a living for myself and make something of myself one day. Even after I graduated and went to work at that industrial bakery, it was so I could learn how the business worked from the inside. So what? You make people sandwiches or croissants, and you think that means anything? Don't you get it? You didn't even raise me. I barely even consider myself your daughter because you never gave me a single worthwhile life lesson. Doesn't that make you ashamed of yourself? How dare you talk to your mother that way? You better watch your tone. I don't have to watch anything with you because I don't think of you as my mother. A real mother wouldn't treat her child the way that you've treated me over the years. You really have got some nerve, do you know that? I don't care what you think. Don't bother coming to the wedding because you are uninvited. Not that you were going to come anyways, but I never want to hear from you again. You little brat! You think you can tell me where I can and can't go? You think you can treat me like a nobody? I'll make you pay for this! You were the one who reached out just to tell me that you weren't coming anyways. What are you getting so upset about?
Hey, Lori. You there? I was just talking to a friend and, well, is it true? Is your bakery really that well known?
Why on earth do you want to know that?
Well, it's just that I mentioned your bakery to my girlfriend, and even she knew it. She said it's the name of the little truck that goes around town selling baked goods. She told me there's a long line every time you stop at her office. She was telling me about how great the bread is and how if you don't put in your order right away, the bread always sells out.
Well, I'm so happy that you've met one of my loyal customers. It's nice to hear feedback since we're normally so busy we never have time for small talk. Although it's good to know she thinks so high of us.
But then, does that mean it's true? You're really some famous baker? I had no idea you were so well known.
Well, your girlfriend certainly seems to be a fan, so I guess if you take her word for it, it must be true. By the way, I heard from Mom that you're thinking of marrying this girl. She sounds like a real keeper to me.
Of course she's a keeper. I was going to propose to her sometime this year. Or rather, I was going to. And now it feels like she's trying to avoid me.
Oh no. Do you have any idea why she would be doing something like that?
Well, I do. It's because it's all your fault. She only told us how big a fan she was of your bread after we spent the whole evening telling her how horrible you are. For some reason, my girlfriend took it upon herself to defend you.
You mean that someone who didn't even know me stood up to defend me?
And when she found out that your wedding was going on at the same time, she freaked out on me. She asked me what kind of brother I was to be missing your wedding, and that there was no way she could be with a guy like me. She got so mad that she grabbed all of her things and stormed out of the restaurant that we were all in. She was going on about how she had no idea I was that kind of guy, and then told me that she never wanted to hear from me again. I tried calling her a little after that, but she wouldn't pick up her phone.
And you're really going to try and put that on me? Sounds to me like you got exactly what you deserved. I'm surprised it took her this long to figure out the kind of person you are, honestly.
Wait, what? You can't honestly mean that this is all my fault, right? Of course it's your fault. Well, that's why you gotta help me. Please. She's the daughter of my supervisor.
And why do you think that should make me care?
Because I know that if she doesn't like me, then she can turn my supervisor against me and make my work life much more stressful.
Well, I don't know what you want me to do about it when the reason she broke up with you is because of all the horrible things you were saying.
Come on, you can't really mean that. You know that Mom and I talk bad about you all the time.
That's exactly what I mean, but I want nothing to do with any of this. But just to make things worse for you, I'm going to stop sending my truck to your office. Lori, are you there? I just wanted to say how sorry I am for yesterday. It really is true that I just had to meet Francis's girlfriend yesterday, but we really were just crushed to have to miss your wedding. Of course, you know that we would have loved to be there. What are you going on about now, Mom? I just mean that I can't believe that my little girl has really gotten married. I'm so proud of you. I just wanted to let you know that. Mom, where is this coming from all of a sudden? Do you think I'm going to buy this change of heart? Well, I just had no idea that your business was really that successful. I did a little looking around and you're huge, actually. I mean, I hear that you sell out of all your products every day and that you have fans of yours all over the city. How could I have been so foolish as to not realize this? And just what does that have to do with anything else, huh? Well, then I got to thinking, if you're making that many sales, but your overhead isn't actually that much, then certainly you must be making a ton of money. I was thinking that maybe you could teach me some of your recipes so that I could get some of that money. Mom, give me a break. I am not going to be giving you my recipes because you want to make money. How can you be so cruel to your own mother? I have some goods of my own that you could sell at your store. I'll just need my cut of the dough, so to speak. So you're really also baking now? Well, once I found out how much money there was to be made in doing it, I just knew that I had to get in on it. I'm sure that my baked goods would be a hit at your store, so please, just give them a chance. I actually left a plate of them on your store the other day. Did anyone try them? Oh, that. I got a call from an employee about that. I told him that it was a health hazard to leave food out like that and to throw them all away. Wait, what? You threw my cookies out just like that without even trying them? Mom, you left a plate of uncovered food in a restaurant. What if someone ate one and did get sick? That's a huge liability for us. Anyways, I've already made it clear to you that I want you to stay away from me. And that me, my husband, my business, and anything else you can think of. Got it? After that, my mom heard from my relatives all about what an amazing wedding I actually had. My mom and Francis clearly had no idea that it was going to be catered by a famous chef. Not only that, but we hired a famous DJ as well, and the whole wedding was more like one giant festival. Everyone who was there had an amazing time. As for Francis, I heard that he could never keep a girl for more than a few months before driving them away. After his last girlfriend, his supervisor started coming down on him hard. The rest of the office did too when it slipped that he was the reason they weren't being visited by my bakery truck anymore. He couldn't stand the pressure and the rumors, and he finally quit his job. I have no idea where he or my mom are now, and frankly, I don't care. My business is running smoothly, my marriage is going well, and for the first time, I finally feel like I am doing enough in my life.
Jessica, don't you think it's about time you come visit me? I haven't seen you for more than 10 years now. I am your mother-in-law, so you may feel uneasy around me, but I think you've avoided me enough. Hi, Martha. It's been a while. I didn't expect to hear from you. It's been 10 years already? I can't believe you never came to see me all these years. I know you're busy with work, but we don't live that far apart, and I'm sure you could have made time at least on the weekends. I'm sorry about that, but I heard you didn't want to see me. Huh? When did I say such a thing? Even if I did, it would be a long time ago. Speaking of which, I heard that you said you didn't want to see me. What? I never said that. My son tells me everything. I understand you don't like me, but avoiding me for 10 years is absurd. I didn't go see you because I heard you hated me. I kept telling your son I wanted to go visit you, but he stopped me. You're lying. You blame my son for everything. You really are the kind of woman he says you are. What did he say about me? I've heard everything about you, you know. You seem to be good at cooking, but you're terrible at everything else. Maybe I'll have an urge to slap your face if you come see me now. Matt told you that? He tells me quite the opposite, that I'm terrible at cooking but good at all other chores, so that's why he hasn't divorced me yet. Oh well, in any case, you're a total failure. It's a mystery why he chose you as his wife. A woman who can't even say hi to her mother-in-law for 10 years. I really did try to go visit you, but Matt said it was a bad idea and stopped me every time. He said you hated me so much that you never wanted to see my face again. He thought it caused too much trouble. Oh, really? You think you can get away with such lies? He was telling me the exact opposite. He told me not to go see you because you hated me. Oh, is that so? That's really strange. It's as if he doesn't want us to see each other. Then, I guess that was his way of showing consideration towards us. He wouldn't want to see his wife insulting his mother, right? Plus, it'll be a hassle to stop us fighting. I sure don't like how you can lie so easily. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. Then why don't you come to my place in person with a gift of apology? I'll forgive you for your rudeness if you bring me 10 gifts to cover all my birthdays you've missed. 10 gifts? I'll gladly bring you gifts and also take you out for lunch or dinner, but I'm quite busy for the next few weeks. Is it okay if I go see you at the end of next month? You keep making excuses like that. You're just gonna avoid me again, huh? What a daughter-in-law. I'm not trying to avoid you. I work full-time, so I'm busy during the weekdays. Also, I'm going on a trip starting next Saturday, so... A trip? You couldn't make time for me all these years, but you have enough time to travel? I assume it'll be a luxurious trip. Well, it may not be that luxurious, but Matt arranged it for me. He does that for me sometimes to thank me for all my hard work. My son is a really kind man. He's too good for you. He should have married someone better than you. I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, may I go see you after the trip? Well, in that case, I shall wait. I can't ruin my son's gift. Thank you very much. Jessica, long time no see. I'm Emily, your classmate from high school. Do you remember me? Emily? Long time no see. Yeah, of course I remember you. But we haven't talked since then, so you really took me by surprise. What's going on? Sorry to contact you out of the blue. There was just something I wanted to tell you. What is it? It may feel weird that I'm asking you this, but how are things with your husband? What? Well, I don't know if things are going great, but it's not bad. Why would you ask me that? I know it's none of my business, but he seems to be in love with someone else. So, I don't know how to say this, but I think it's better for you to divorce him. What? Wait, what are you talking about? I mean, why would you know about my husband? Of course you'd be surprised. Actually, our husbands are friends. My husband told me what he heard from your husband, and I became worried about you. I didn't know you were married. And our husbands knew each other, and that's how you found out. How did our husbands get to know each other? They work at the same place. They go out for drinks sometimes. I see. But how did you know he was my husband? I didn't invite you to my wedding. I remember the pics he posted on Facebook. Oh, I may have posted a few pics with him. I haven't posted anything for a long time, so I forgot. There may have been some pics before we got married. When my husband showed me a picture he took with your husband, I thought I've seen that face before, and it hit me that he must be your husband. I'm surprised you recognized him. But why did you go through the trouble of telling me? We were former classmates, but we haven't spoken to each other for years. You're my friend. I can't just keep quiet knowing my friend might be betrayed by her husband. Well, we've never spoken to each other since high school, so I was really surprised. But thank you for letting me know. No problem. I can't believe he would betray such a kind person as you. You should break up with him right away. Well, we have a child, so I can't divorce him that easily. If it's just that he likes someone else, maybe we can figure things out together. What? I don't think that's a good idea. Why? He may be in love with someone, but that doesn't mean he already has a deep relationship. I wouldn't jump into a divorce just because of that. Well, it's true that he hasn't said anything more than having feelings for the other woman, but he said he wants to remarry her. That's why he's thinking of divorcing you, Jessica. Oh. My husband went into so much detail when talking to your husband? That's what I heard. I thought it might be impossible to have a future with such a man. Okay. Well, that's for me to decide. Wait. Don't tell your husband about this. If you tell him, he might have a grudge against my husband. I don't want to get in the way of their friendship. Well, you're right. If I told him that your husband told me, he would lose my husband's trust. But then, what do you think I should do? I'll give you updates. If your husband is willing to divorce you, why don't you think about the future without him? You shouldn't waste your time on such a man. It's not like we're just dating, so I have a lot to think about. But thanks for the info. I'll keep an eye on my husband and think carefully of what to do. Jessica, you are such a terrible mother. Your son eats a lot. The food expenses are just too much, so I'll be sure to make you pay for it. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't you dare play dumb with me. How can you leave your kid with me for a month? Are you out of your mind? I will certainly make my son divorce you. Are you talking about my son, born between Matt and I? If it's about my son, he has been with me this whole time. My son and I are enjoying the beach together in Hawaii. I would never leave him for such a long time. What? You guys have only one child, right? Yes, we only have one child. So can you tell me who you're talking about? Then this child. Who is this boy in my care? Did Matt tell you to take care of that child? Did he also tell you he's our son? Of course. I would never take care of a stranger. I'm not stupid, you know. I'm not trying to say you're stupid. I'm just trying to understand what's happening. So you're saying that Matt has another kid? No, that can't be true. You're saying that my dear son, Matt, has an illegitimate son? Well, that's what's going on, isn't it? What did he exactly tell you when he dropped off that kid? I told him that I heard you were going on a trip. Then, he got mad at me for contacting you without his permission. I was just trying to compliment him, telling him how nice it was of him to treat his wife to a trip. I see. And then, all of a sudden, his attitude changed. He asked me to take care of his son so that you two can spend time as a couple. Matt is there too, right? He's not here. He told me he couldn't come because he had to go on a business trip. So it's just me and my son here in Hawaii. He's been exposed in more ways than one. It can't be. There must be some mistake. If I call him, we can find out the truth right away. He told me not to contact him since he'd be busy during the business trip. What did he say to you? He told me not to contact him so that he could enjoy his time alone with you. Oh. So why did you contact me then? Since your son eats so much, the money I received from Matt wasn't enough. I thought I'd complain to you instead. Now, I wonder where that child came from. Once I get back, I'll go to your house and have a chat with him. Wait, there's no need for that. I'll go talk to the boy. Don't make it a big deal. I'm sure Matt has his reasons. I'm sure he has a very good reason. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. But it's weird. I've been taking care of him regularly for 10 years, but you never once thanked me. I got so angry, I decided to contact you. What? You're saying horrifying things right now. You've been taking care of him for the last 10 years? Whose child is he? I'll just ask him what his mother's name is right now. Yes. Please let me know what he says. He said Emily. That's what I thought. Do you know who she is? She was my high school classmate. She's cute and looks very innocent, but she was famous for stealing her friends' boyfriends. I see. So that girl stole Matt from you. I heard that she was a very good cook. So it makes sense with what Matt said. I'm not very good at cooking, so Matt always complains to me about it. I'm sure Emily would make him delicious home-cooked meals. You're so calm and analytical even after your husband is stolen. You've got some guts. But I can't believe you lost your husband to an old classmate. She's the same age as you, right? I can only say, suck it up. Let me tell you something. I'm divorcing Matt. And I know that's what you've always wanted, so you can be happy about that. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. That's great. Just get divorced and get the hell out of our lives. But Emily, is way worse than I am. What do you mean? She's famous for doing nothing except cooking. All the guys she's dated in the past broke up with her because of that. I think she's trying to marry Matt because of his income. There's no way I'm letting my son marry a woman who gave birth to his illegitimate child. I don't think she's the kind of woman who will listen to you. If you object, she'll try to marry him in secret. If she weren't such a woman, she wouldn't have an illegitimate child. It may not be easy, but she is the kind of woman who declared war on me, knowing I was Matt's wife. She tried talking me into divorcing Matt, pretending she was innocent. But I'm not going to let them get away that easily. Don't you dare do anything unnecessary. I'm fully prepared. I actually hired a detective and knew all this before you told me. So all I needed was the real evidence and your testimony. Now, I can sue him for alimony and child support. You set me up? It's all your son's fault. I haven't done anything to you or your son. I'm sorry you've been deceived by your own son for the last 10 years. Now, I'm cutting ties with you both. So you two shall fall to the ends of the earth and despair. After that, I confronted my husband with the evidence. For the past 10 years, he regularly left his illegitimate child with his mother to go on dates with Emily. I divorced him and charged him alimony and child support. Lately, I have been enjoying taking cooking classes with my son. As I expected, Emily married my ex right away. However, I had informed my ex's company of what had happened, and he was reduced to an ordinary employee with a lower salary. Now, they are both in despair. My ex-mother-in-law was resented by her son for being the one responsible for making me realize what was going on. Matt cut ties with her out of anger. None of it matters to me anymore, though. I will enjoy my life with my son and try my best to raise him to be a good man, unlike his father.